Welcome to Deep Thought. Knowledge can corrupt. I'm going to tell you what. Now, I talked about in a previous podcast about how the elite might keep knowledge away from people, in order to control them better. And I touched briefly on that it can actually corrupt people. I want to get more into that in this podcast. Knowledge is powerful. Knowledge applied is powerful. Just having the knowledge itself means nothing. There's a lot of people who carry around a lot of information, don't know how to apply it. I use the example of just knowing how to make money. And that's a positive thing. That's a positive thing. But what if you have knowledge on how people behave? And that's a powerful one. And people in my inner circle know I've given some lessons on how to read people, right? But that's a powerful thing in the hands of someone who has bad intentions. That's a powerful thing. If you look at one of the things I've always said, there's certain things I don't tell anybody, no matter how much they ask about it. And I've had some people they were like, I don't know why they think I didn't forget they asked about it 15 other times. Like I'm gonna slip up and tell them something. Like if they keep asking, something will change. No, that just annoys me. But there's some information I don't give unless I know the character of the person. And when I say character, trust me, I'm reading them too. If I feel like they the type person get that information and would start hurting people, I was just like, nah. And sometimes I tell them, I'm like, nah, you ain't ready for it. Right? Like if you give, for example, let me use the relationship thing, for example. If you have a guy or a woman who weren't getting mates, but all of a sudden you give them some insight where they could do that, and they could actually start to hurt people. Because a lot of times when you get people out here who life has kicked their ass. I mean, life has kicked their ass and they've been bullied. They've been told just feel bad. They hate the world. One of the worst things to do is give them some power. In fact, the mystery schools of the past, they would make it hard for people to get knowledge. They would put you through some tests to see if you even qualify for it. And in fact, I know about some semi-secret groups that we have now, even right in the black community, that some put you through it, but some, they might give away the information a little bit too easily if you pay, And then they will find out later that someone would take this information and misuse it, you have some in some of the subcultures, especially spiritual subcultures, where someone might be trained in some esoteric techniques. A lot of them might do it for power. It's like in the old South, and probably I think they still have some people who might learn aspects of hoodoo, but a lot of times it's to do something to someone else, right? That's knowledge that can be corrupted, or it could come in several different ways. But one of the things is, that's one reason why some stuff is kept from people. Yeah, on one hand, it's to not empower them, but on the other hand, it's some other stuff to keep them from hurting. It's like if you teach, say you teach someone, and I've met some martial arts grandmasters who reportedly, because I haven't seen them do it, but reportedly knew pressure points on someone, incapacitated. But if you give that, say you give that to someone who's been picked on all their lives and they learn the information, but they don't have the checks in place. And then it's like, boom, they going out hurting people. And that's a concern. Now, usually what happens with many masters in different fields like that, whether it's martial arts, whether it's something like Tantra, like just real quick for Tantra, I know there's a growing subculture of people practicing Tantra out there, but I know of at least one tantra master who unfortunately passed away, but he wouldn't train anybody. He wouldn't train anybody in tantra unless they were in a committed relationship. And I believe he got to the point he wouldn't train anybody unless they were married, not even a committed relationship, but married, because of the potential for abuse. Now, like I said, it could be that, it could be any martial arts, you see that a lot, or, one dangerous knowledge could be actually knowledge on how to manipulate the stock system. There was a book that I read, it was the Brilliance trilogy, it was called Brilliance, and it was about these people, gifted people, right? And one of the people with gifts was a guy. He could read the stock market to the point he actually crashed it. Like in the book, he crashed it to the point they had to revamp everything. He crashed it because he was able to read the patterns. Sometimes that could be some knowledge now. I mean, and that's actually been a theme. I've seen that theme in fiction. I've seen it in a recent comic book I was following. It was called Black Monday Murders. And one of the things, it was like some people who were occultists, but they were using occult methods to manipulate the stock market, which is actually a possibility. If you understand, if someone were to understand energies or whatever, and that's actually some knowledge right there. If someone were to understand different energies, different patterns, not just patterns, but then like what signs the astrology is in, it's like there's certain periods where it's a good time to do some, certain periods where it's not. If they understand stuff about retrogrades and all of that, they can actually make a lot of money because they'll know. The deeper knowledge is, not only what the patterns are, but what to invest in at a particular time. Now that's that. Now whether that knowledge is dangerous, that's iffy, because someone could use it to make a lot of money and do some good, but then somebody could also cause a lot of damage. Like, it's probably possible for somebody with the right knowledge to crash the stock market. And they could start by making a run or pulling money out of like some obscure stock. But then there's so many connections right there. I think it would take some real knowledge, because you would have to know how one thing affects the other. But it's very possible. It's very possible because of how interconnected everything is. But that's the one thing, and that's the one reason to keep knowledge from some folks. Because like I said, there's some stuff I know that if I don't know the person personally, I don't give it away, even if they want to pay for it. There's some secrets I've said, even if somebody paid for it. I would have to know their character. And usually you can tell, a lot of times with people, you can tell them just enough. You can tell them just enough so they can get what they're really looking for, whether, if it's a made better life or anything where they ain't going to get corrupted. But you still have, I would say, those evil scientist types, or evil genius types who are working on some menial job and they just frustrated with it. Those are the types. Usually the types end up shooting up stuff. Knowing how to shoot a gun or something, that's dangerous knowledge, really, for the wrong person. So sometimes some people might say, some stuff we can put out there, but some stuff we need to keep under wraps because of how much danger it could cause. Like, I know of at least one thing now that's causing some problems, but I ain't going to get into it here. That's causing some problems, which a group of us, we knew about this particular knowledge, and we said, it was half of us said, don't put this out there. And the other half said, let's put this out there. And then one person from the other half came back and said, hey, these people ain't doing the right thing with this stuff. And, you just trying to resist the urge just to say, I told you so. You try to resist that urge. You just like, but that's a real thing. So it's like, knowledge is good, but then it can be corrupted. And, and that's usually why, like, even in martial arts, stuff like that, people will put you through it just before they really show you stuff, right? People will put you through it just to see if you're worthy of it. and you can handle the power. So anyway, right? That's all I got for now. As always, just think on this. Peace and blessings.